Here in Australia, Sky News and a range of media publications are claiming that Aussies don't want electric cars. Well, the truth is that is completely false. And now a major bank has decided they will only give loans for electric cars. No more internal combustion engine vehicles, no more hybrids, no more plug-in hybrids. They're going electric only. If you want a loan with this bank, you have to buy an EV. Hello my friends, welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Great to see you. Hope you've had an amazing day. What a week it's been in the electric car world. So many things happening. Crazy stuff going on with BYD here in Australia. Crazy stuff going on all over the world. XPeng has released their numbers. Could go bankrupt, hopefully not, because they make amazing cars. And now we find out this news, which I think is good. It's a turning of the tide. It's basically saving people from themselves, right? Someone walks into your bank, says, I want to buy a Nokia 3310 or a BlackBerry, whatever the heck they were called. And the bank goes, you know what? We're going to save you from yourself. We'll give you a loan to buy a smartphone, a new modern smartphone. You can get one for about the same price. We recommend that's the best thing to do. The customer says, no, but my mate, someone told me that I should buy a Toyota. It's got an engine. It goes brum, 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 brum. And the bank says, yeah, no, that's not the future. That's not a good idea. That's what I see is happening right now. A Victorian bank here, I'm from Victoria myself, has put the environment before profit and common sense, I'd say, before idiocy, by announcing it will only offer loans for electric vehicles from 2025. It's only 2 years away, actually. Bank Australia has decreed it will no longer offer personal loans for new internal combustion vehicles, including hybrids and plug-in hybrids, as of the start of 2025, so just over 2 years away, citing its company-wide push to be carbon neutral by 2035. Now, I think probably the boffins here at this bank are very aware. They've seen the writing on the wall. They know that if you just buy a purely internal combustion engine vehicle, or to be honest, any vehicle with combustion in it in 2025, then there's a good chance that vehicle's going to crash in terms of its value. Maybe in 5 years' time, your loan will be more than what the car is worth. It's certainly possible. If you look at Norway, well, yeah, good example of what's going on, isn't it? Good example of what people do. People have contacted me from Norway and said that they couldn't sell their cars. People just didn't want them because they had engines in them. Bank Australia said we've chosen 2025 because the change to electric vehicles needs to happen quickly. Now, the bank said this just days after some EV lobby groups increased their call for a nationwide ban on the sale of new petrol and diesel cars by 2035. To be honest, 2035 banning them, I just don't think they're going to be around in 2035. It just seems like a political move to me. Sounds like it's like the EV lobby group goes, well, we better do something. 2035? Anyone? I don't think that's really relevant. Maybe if you push for 2030, that might be actually pushing for something which would actually move the needle. Here's what the bank said. We believe it can happen as soon as supporting policies and market forces help to bring a greater range of more affordable electric vehicles to Australia. This will include a range of new models at lower prices than are currently available in Australia and second-hand EV. So you can see here the bank, they've got an idea of what's going on. They realize that EV is going to get cheaper. There's going to be more and more available over the next couple of years. The responsible thing for us to do next is to ensure that our vehicle lending doesn't lock our customers in to higher carbon emissions and rubbish cars. I just added that in. And increasingly expensive running costs in the years ahead. I like the fact that this bank has done the numbers and realized what a lot of people clearly have not yet. The bold move does not apply to used cars, however, meaning second-hand vehicle buyers will still be able to borrow from Bank Australia to purchase their next car. However, there's one little perk here for EV buyers. If the vehicle is deemed an LEV, low emission vehicle, one that emits less than 125 grams of CO2 per kilometre, borrowers will get lower interest and comparison rates than those looking to buy a higher emission vehicle. Other banks offering similar incentives include Bank First, Bendigo Bank, and Adelaide Bank, Police Bank, Regional Australia Bank, and Westpac. You can see the tide here is turning. I mean, this is 2022 and banks are starting to do this now. Imagine where we're going to be in, say, a few years from now. I think there's a pretty good chance a lot of banks will change to match what's really going on. Macquarie Bank is another key player offering discounted interest and comparison rates for car loans, but only for the purchase of electric vehicles, something it actively facilitates with its customers by suggesting vehicles, arranging test drives, and negotiating trade-in values. The coming decade will determine the true extent of climate change, and there's a big job to do, Macquarie's EV landing page reads. We're committed to accelerating Australia's transition to electric cars. Australia's largest non-bank lender, Pepper Money, has taken a different approach. Instead, they're incentivizing the uptake of zero emissions vehicles, in other words, electric cars, by offering 12 months of free charging. Partnering with EV networks, customers will get a year of free public charging within Australia for those who finance electric vehicles through Pepper Money. The company claims it helped finance 11% of all electric cars sold in Australia in 2021. In June of 2022, Westpac, which is one of the 4 biggest banks here in Australia, became the first of the big 4 banks to launch a dedicated loan for electric cars. However, Drive, one of the biggest motoring publications here in Australia, actually did some interesting research on what's going on. They discovered that a number of financial providers are offering favourable interest rates to those looking to buy low or zero emissions vehicles. Basically, the loan market is saying, you know what, if you borrow money to buy an EV or maybe a plug-in hybrid as well, there's a much higher chance that that's a low risk to us. So we're going to give you a better interest rates. That's what's happening right now in Australia. It could be happening in your country, it could be happening in the US, it could be happening in Europe. I'm not too sure. Let me know if it is. Contact me, let me know, and I'll make another video, do some more research on that. But clearly, the smart money does what the smart money does, right? They make a complicated analysis on what's going on in the world, and clearly there's a lot less risk with customers buying EVs. Because why? Because they're the future. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.